Hello, everybody. My name is Juwon Ogungbe. Welcome. And I am here to talk with my friend and colleague Jack Lookman, and he has some more information to share with you this week. The title of his talk this week is Empowerment and Monetization for Older Colleagues. So, welcome, Jack.
Thank you very much, Brother Juwon. Okay, I'm going to be talking from my spreadsheet. Yes, I'm an older citizen, so you bear with me. Okay, so how do I minimize that? Okay, so yes, empowerment and monetization with older colleagues. Now, is this really a business idea? Well, today's talk isn't really a business idea, but an idea that could potentially empower colleagues, those of them that are reaching retirement age. Now, what's the idea? It's about collaborating on business ventures and profit sharing. In other words, putting resources together and collectively benefiting. Now, what resources are required? Well, it would require money, skills, experience, etc. In other words, it's just about contributing in cash or in kind or both. What's the inspiration for the idea? Well, some of my colleagues aren't prepared for old age. Some don't have a retirement plan. The economy has eroded the retirement plans of some, and some will face compulsory retirement soon. And even for those with a pension, the standard of living may be much reduced. Now, what problem am I solving? Well, it's about creating complementary income streams, especially for those nearing retirement or already retired. What are the benefits and opportunities? Well, this idea will present camaraderie. It will present income streams, maybe a bit of financial security, possibly wealth creation, job creation, networking opportunities, opportunities for scaling businesses, and keeping the old heads mentally engaged. Also, it's useful for time management, whereby you can effectively use your time effectively and be relevant. And there could be option, or they could also present empowerment, side hustle, ethical profit sharing. And also, all the participants will be able to leverage their skills, experience, and other resources. And of course, supporting each other. Collaborations could be done globally as well as locally by leveraging the internet. Now, what are the threats? Well, some of the threats are conflict, greed, destroyed friendships, fraud, and breach of trust. And of course, in business, nothing is guaranteed. So if this business venture is unsuccessful, that could also be a major threat. Now, what's the process? What are the processes that you go through? Well, some of them are that you brainstorm on the value proposition, brainstorm the processes, that is including monetization and marketing. You could put relevant systems and structures in place. You could have relevant legal frameworks. You could delegate tasks as necessary. You could leverage a profit sharing formula app as necessary. You could put relevant checks and balances in place. You could share profits periodically. You could reinvest in the business or businesses. Now, meetings. You could have meetings on platforms such as WhatsApp. You can create a WhatsApp group. You could have Zoom meetings. So therefore, your meetings can be in text format or video format. And basically, you can catch up on the project and share best practice, etc. Now, the profit sharing formula app. This is a fair, transparent, and ethical means of profit sharing. It's a project on my to-do list. So that way you can monitor what individuals are inputting into the business or projects. And that way you can calculate a fair and ethical profit share. Now let's talk a bit about the business model. There shall be a project manager to drive the process. There shall be collaborators. The collaborators could contribute in cash or kind or both. Profits shall be shared pro rata based on what individuals input into the business or project. Freelancers could be hired as necessary for ad hoc duties. Freelancers could be got from platforms such as freelancer.com, from peopleperhour.com, upworks.com, and so on and so forth. And the business or businesses or projects could be new or existing ones. Now, how will you monetize? You shall sell products and services. There could be room for affiliate marketing. There could be opportunities for mentoring and coaching. There could be content creation opportunities. Excuse me. There could also be franchising opportunities. Excuse me. Now, in terms of the marketing, you could explore affiliate marketing, social media marketing, Google Ads, etc. Now, let's talk a bit about legalities. There has to be written agreement in place. You need to also touch on exit strategy. For example, if a member is sick, or if there's conflict, or if there is death, or maybe if a member is no longer interested. So you have to deal with such issues under the legalities. Now I'll talk you through two case studies that readily come to mind. I create content regularly and I continue to do most of the heavy lifting. That means I create the content, I do the editing, publishing on different platforms, both in text format and in audio or video formats. But what I could need help with is probably financing. The financing could go towards marketing, towards logistics, and so on and so forth. So, assuming I got maybe collaborators on board, we could agree on a profit share and then mutually benefit in the short and on the long term. Another case study that came to mind is because I have a technical background, I have a bank of app ideas. Now, however, I lack the finance to see it through. I don't want to go through banks or go through equity funding and all that. It's a bit complicated. But one of the things I thought of was that I could do the project management and do all the heavy lifting. And then I could tap from the skills and experience of colleagues or classmates. And then we could collectively raise funds and then share the profits pro rata. So that's basically the idea in summary. So it's basically about pulling resources together and then sharing the potential profits. And if you make profits, you share that collectively. And if you make loss, you also share that collectively. So that's the idea in a nutshell. Thank you very much.
Okay, Jack. Well, that is good. Are you going to stop sharing the screen now?
Okay. I'm actually getting used to Zoom. Okay, I've stopped sharing. Yes.
Yes. Um, so the title of your talk today is like empowerment and monetization with older colleagues. So I felt in most of what you spoke about in that presentation, you were referring to the monetization, whether that be in terms of fundraising and having support from colleagues or contemporaries, or about how profits could be shared and that sort of thing. Um, could you talk a bit more about empowerment, a bit more about what this would mean for people going into that point of their lives when they're sort of like moving on from maybe one career into a different stage of their lives, and how they could be empowered from doing things such as what you've suggested.
Basically, the empowerment comes in different strands. There's the financial empowerment, because if we work collaboratively, they could benefit financially because depending on what they put into the pot, whether it's experience, whether it's skills, etc., rather than them just passing time and not having something productive to do with the time, you are going to engage them in the projects. So we are going to brainstorm together. Even for those who haven't got money but are willing to put in the effort, that effort can be quantified in financial time and terms. And then when it comes to the profit sharing, they can share profits. Also, with the process, most of the colleagues are of different backgrounds. Different people study different things, have different experiences, etc. During the process of, for example, meetings or maybe WhatsApp chats, we're going to be sharing useful knowledge. So they're going to get into the mode of projects, into the mode of business, etc. And then each of us will learn from the collective wisdom of other people. For all intents and purpose, I'm talking about maybe content creation or apps or something like that. That's from my perspective. Somebody from a marketing background might come in with a different perspective. Somebody from a business background might come with a different perspective. Somebody from, different people will have different perspectives. So in all, even from the meetings alone, it's a bank of useful experience. So that experience could actually benefit in us individually and collectively. So there's the financial empowerment. Hopefully, we could make money from it. Two, some people just from this experience, it might open opportunities for them. They might replicate the process and go and do their own thing. Or it might light the bulb in their heads and they may think of some ideas they had, which is probably rotting in dust, and they might awaken those ideas and take it further. And even if they won't, they might decide that they want to pick a few of us on the platform, or maybe all of us, and we can push their own projects forward as well. So there are different things they can empower both financially, academically, and maybe entrepreneurially. So those are some of the ways in which they could get empowered. And of course, as you get older, if you don't fuel your mind, like they say, you go down very quickly. So it's important to keep your mind active and your brain so that um, rather than just sitting down, reading newspapers or whatever, you can do something more constructive, and then collectively we could benefit.
Okay, well, it seems to me that for most people, it's helpful to have a reason to get out of bed in the morning or whenever you get out of bed, because I don't always get out of bed in the morning. Um, but my point is that it's almost like a passion, something that's driving them, you know, to be present in the world and play some kind of role, one role or the other. So, how do you suggest or propose that this idea that you're presenting today could be of help to people who are maybe looking for that? Maybe they didn't actually find that passion in their first career or whatever, or the career that carried them through to retirement age or that sort of thing. What is it that you can say to them about this as a sort of template for them?
Okay. First of all, about getting up in the morning, I think I'm part of that club. Normally I work till very late, maybe 2 a.m., 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. So, but I'm very passionate about what I do. And for those people, especially the older ones, they don't have to wake up early in the morning because, for
Mhm.
example, if they are part of my project, for example, I'm going to do most of the legwork. I'm going to be like the project manager. I'm the one going to get things get being done. And for the aspects that are a bit too cumbersome, I could outsource it to freelancers. So those freelancers, yes, we'll pay them for the service. But the good thing about the freelancers is that we don't have to pay them a salary or holiday pay or any of those things. We give them a chunk of work to do, they do it, and that's the end of that contract. So, in terms of the drive, one of the drives is going to be morning. That's part of what's going to drive us. Because for those of us who are growing older, some of us would have a good retirement plan. In some parts of the world, you get a pension, etc. But in some other parts of the world, even if you've put money into a pension pot, there's a chance that that pot might have been um, consumed by the officials, so you don't get anything. So for those type of people, for example, they have little or not much to fall back on, unless, of course, they have assets they've had, which they've built. So for such people, something like this would be a very it would be a good idea for them to monetize. And yes, if we are many on the platform, for all intents and purposes, people might contribute £100, £20 a year or £30, depending on their wallet size. And when we're talking about that, we are talking about maybe foregoing drinks, because for some people, they can go and have drinks and they spend about 20 or £30 at a sitting. So it's just foregoing one or two of those and then contributing it to something like that. And it's going to be a transparent and accountable process. So as we are making money, that's going to be shared. And there's also going to be an agreement in place just to keep their minds at rest. And also in terms of the role, there will be some active members of the platform. Someone like me will still be active doing the active work, like doing the logistics and all of those things. For some others, they might not have time or space to do any active work. They just want to put down money and get returns. And for some others, they might put in little or maybe not too much money. So eventually it is what, depending on what you put in, that's what you get out. Like they say, garbage in, garbage out. So if you put in little time or effort, when it comes to profit sharing, it will be commensurate with what you've put in. And then in terms of drive, on the one hand, there could be financial returns. On the other hand, for example, if you are having team meetings every month or something like that, it's an opportunity for people to network and exchange pleasantries, um, and discuss other opportunities and so on and so forth. So I think it could benefit those who are interested. And the good thing about this is that even if you test from the business idea. If it doesn't suit you, you can actually exit. And when you are exiting, you get, depending on what you've put into the business, you get almost the same thing out. And then, you say our goodbyes. So that's what I think.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for that, well, exposition. And thank you for your presentation today, Jack Lookman.
Okay,
And
thank you.
hopefully, we will be meeting again, won't we, next week to discuss yet another of your ideas to
Okay,
share with the wider public. Yes?
okay, yes, please. Thank you very much, Brother Juwon. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, then. Bye bye.
Bye.